Songwriter Soup.
I want to write the songs and see what doors those open. Just like ridding myself of an expectation of it like has to be me. And I just wanted to love songwriting again.
Healthy recipes for not losing your mind and your money in the songwriter business.
In the time it was hell. I don't know how I will recoup. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know if I will. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how long I have to make this money last. It was like a very, very difficult headspace to be creative in.
Welcome to Songwriter Soup, y'all.
I'm Laura Veltz.
I'm Tracy Hackney.
I'm Kevin Sokolnicki, and today we have a person that Laura's going to introduce. Laura?
That's right. Max Duval is here.
What up?
I'm so happy you're here. I've known you since you were...
Probably 15.
Good God.
Yeah.
And you were Maggie Chapman at the time.
Yes.
And I love both Mags and Maggie, which is very cute.
It's still me.
Yeah, still same girly. I'm just so happy you're here. You've had a just meteoric last year. I don't know, a year. Was that the? Well, okay, we'll get into it. It's just very exciting to watch somebody who spent so much time and like not just hours, but like taking risks during the, I remember you playing songs at Songwriter rounds and whatever, and I'm like, she's still not following these rules. And I was always like, like I'm so happy about it. You were always taking like musical risks. You were always pulling things away from the norm. And I think with time, some people get really exhausted and start falling in line, and you just never fucking did.
Thank you.
And it was really cool to see that rewarded after a lot of time, and for you to keep going is just a miracle. I'm so happy it happened.
Thank you, Laura. Oh my gosh. I am too. I can't believe it. I've been pinching myself for like the last year. It's been insane.
And you found the right artist who lit up things that you care about. And it feels like your whole team just like clearly found each other, which I think is sort of like a dream for new writers to even know that exists.
Yes.
Like the whole like I was slugging it out and then I just it's almost like falling in love.
It really is.
Like finding that team where you're like, oh my God, we were all meant to do this together, and then having that so intensely rewarded in a window of time where you're like, well, that made sense.
It's crazy too, because when I met Adam Urone, he was producing out of his parents' garage in LA. And I walked in and he had all these vinyl record covers like around the back wall. And they were all the records I grew up on, like my favorite music. And I immediately was just like, oh, like this is going to be a great day.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm going to click with this guy. And we started writing together. A different artist set us up. And he was like, oh, you got to work with my friend Adam. Like, he's amazing. And we met, we hit it off. He like immediately was someone I wanted to pull into sessions. He was pulling me into things. And he said to me like 4 or 5 years ago, he's like, I know that it's just going to be a matter of time for us with the right artist, the right song, the right moment, because our batting average is so high. Like the songs that we write together are some of my favorite songs. The songs you write on your own are some of my favorite songs. And then the same was true. Like a lot of the songs he would write, they were all my favorite songs.
Yeah.
So there was just such like an inherent like understanding of each other musically and respect and like admiration. And it was just kind of like, there was just this like comfort in the room with him, and while also challenging me that I'd never experienced before creatively. And every time I'd see him on my calendar, it would just be like, oh, great. Okay, that's going to be a great day. Like,
Isn't that the most wonderful feeling?
The best feeling.
When I first met Jessie Jo Dillon, I had that feeling. Every time she was on the calendar, I was just like, oh my God, I can relax. Not relax, but like relax. I don't know. Like I am excited, but then I'm going to be inspired and I'm going to go home thrilled. And Jimmy Robbins was the other one. And it's wild. Well, there's tons more now.
Oh yeah, no, of
But
course.
in the beginning, when you're just kind of dating, and then you kind of go like, I think we got to put a ring on this shit.
Yes. Well, LA is so strange too, because I had come up in Nashville and had been writing here for 6 years and then moving to LA, it's like you'd get put in the room and they're like, oh, this person wrote this song. Little did you know, like they made the drums for it.
Okay, pause.
Yeah. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how that is such a signature move in LA. And I do think that happens here too, but it's way less often because the community itself vets itself a little bit more like clearly because no one's impressible. They actually want to see like the talent.
Yeah.
So it's not about what your name is on. It's about your actions in the room.
Totally.
And in LA, it is a little bit more like, is your name on it?
Well, and not to knock that. I mean, honestly, like a lot of songs that have amazing drums like wouldn't be hits without the, and I won't discredit that. It's just
agreed.
You don't really have an understanding of like how you might creatively connect with someone, what they do in the room versus what you do and how much that could flow. So
I think it just really brings up the subject of production teams and writing teams, and they can coexist. Some of my favorite writing rooms are when production heavy people are in a room with writing heavy people. I think it's just the misfire of publishers going, oh, we can now get him in the room because his name is on X song, but he doesn't actually know how to hang in a room like that is expecting that kind of delivery.
Yes.
I think that it's not knocking the production. It's actually just an attempt to separate them.
Yeah.
Like there is such a thing as like incredible production writing, and there's such thing as incredible writing with production ideas.
Totally.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish more publishers would be clear about those matches, And again, not knocking it either. I'm with you.
Can I ask, is there a world in which there's a room full of drum programmers because nobody understood the that because everyone's name says writer next to it, and they maybe on the record get production credit, but like, I mean, what you're describing is kind of,
to me, it's a failure it's the failure of a publisher manager group when they're grouping. And this happens what you're describing happens more often, I think, in camps.
Right.
Because when they just try to throw like a bunch of people together and then all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, they're just picking songs. They're going, oh, Bieber, Alex Warren, you'll all make sense, but they're not really talking about, I'm really forthright about what I bring to the room to my publisher. And I kind of report back.
Yes,
like
totally.
when, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, that person's like real heavy production.
Yeah.
So you're not going to want to double it. So I'm giving feedback to my,
totally.
You know what I mean?
Well, trying to solve what the issue you were bringing up is you don't know where you fit in creatively if you don't know the lay of the land.
Well,
right.
Who's all showing up.
I mean, creativity and collaboration is so strange too, though, because then in the same regard, someone who on paper would be the perfect fit for you, you get in the room and it's like, I don't know what it is.
Yep.
We couldn't write anything. Or it's sometimes you're tasked with like the wrong assignment. Like one of my favorite writers, Danny Silverstein, he has an artist project called Slim Dan. He's brilliant. And I was like, I love his music. I love what he does. We got put together to write a song about Kelly Clarkson's divorce. We don't know Kelly Clarkson. I don't know the ins and outs of what she went through. And we were sitting there trying to like, it's two sort of like left of center, like indie-ish songwriters, like trying to like get in the brain of Kelly Clarkson. And it was like the worst song I think I've ever written. And I was like, I don't need to do that again. Like he doesn't need to do that again. Like we're good. And then we actually did a camp together. We got put together again with the same brief. We tried doing it again.
Up.
And we were just like, we don't have it. It's not it. Like, I don't know. Something here
What
is
do you
just
do
not
in that
gelling.
situation? Like just,
The last, I know.
do your best.
You try. And then the last day of the camp, he was like, I don't want to do that again, but I do want to write with you. Can we just write something for fun? Like, let's not think about like who it's for or what it is. And we just wrote to write, and like we wrote one of my favorite songs, and then we went on to like write tons of songs. We do one-on-one days. Like one of those songs is in play now with the big artist. Like we've had like multiple cuts together, and it's like I'm so glad that we tried 3 different times because we almost gave up on something that could have been great because the first session we were just like given the absolute worst brief for the two of us to do possible, so.
The lesson is strong. Like, I feel like, and everything you're saying, it's funny because there are no hard, fast rules in any combination of things you just said. For instance, the two of you get together, both indie auxiliary writers, given a Kelly Clarkson brief. Totally possible.
Yeah.
That Kelly Clarkson's like, holy shit, this is different. This is
Could be a
something I've never,
change,
like,
right?
quite literally, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And that's the magic of songwriting. Like, you don't know. And I really admire you for the 3 times. I'm more like a 2-time girly. Like, when
I feel you.
Unless the vibrations are so strong where I'm just like, I love you. I don't care that we haven't written anything good. And that's a unique situation. 3 is too many for me. Yeah. So I admire you. 3, I'm like a 2Z.
Yeah. Well, we were at a camp, so I couldn't go anywhere.
No choice.
And we came back together in the like circulation of, it's like, okay, like everyone gets paired together twice. And like, it was like our second time at that camp to get paired together. So we had no choice, but I'm really glad that happened.
Lucky arrangement. I'm glad to hear that. I want to circle back to the fact that you started here. I met Maggie Mags here, 15, baby tiny girl, extremely talented. I mean, everyone knew. We were like, this child is definitely like touched, kind of giving like Lana Del Rey, like something else. Like, and we were all wondering, is she going to be an artist? What does she want? What a beautiful voice. What a cool story. And I feel like, and this is me, just watching. So tell me I'm wrong here. Long time here with the right team, and sort of just like it just didn't connect. Like it just didn't connect, and it was a mystery to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then a move out to LA. Maybe I'm not a Nashville person, which, by the way, at the time, Nashville was really, really specifically something, wasn't it?
I really do feel like it was right town, wrong time for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, in
precisely
a lot of ways.
Because any level of like pulling it out of the lane was really frowned upon at the time.
There was a lot of fear around it. I think it was like DSPs are starting to become a thing. We don't know what that is. There's the safety of like the kind of defined boxes of radio.
Yes.
I was in an artist development deal. It was like you're either country or you're pop, and I was making like singer-songwriter music.
Right.
And it was like, where does this land? Sync? Like maybe, so there was a lot of like, sort of trying to work around those kind of really defined genres in a time where like they were all kind of about to go away.
Yes.
But no one knew that.
Wow.
So for me, songwriting was just like purely self-expression. Like I started writing when I was like 8 or 9 years old. No one in my family's musical. Everyone was just kind of like, I guess this is what she does, but we don't really get it. Like my parents were not, it's funny because I started in the industry so young. I think there's like this perception that it's like, oh, you probably had these like stage parents that like really wanted this for you. Like they did not at all. I have 3 siblings. It was like actually very complicated. But I was really bullied in middle school. So they took me to get one of my songs recorded as my birthday present, which they told me years later was because they thought if I had a party, no one would come. So I was like, well, thanks for not telling me that then. That's great. I was just like a very weird kid. So
welcome.
Yeah, no, I'm glad for it now. But at the time
that we were so us.
Yes,
and that there was no stopping it.
No.
There was no stopping it.
Yeah, truly.
And the parties were going to be empty dance floors, but man, it makes sense.
Even if they weren't empty, they felt like it to me. I felt like I had a very like existential kind of like crisis at a young age.
You're killing me. You're so funny.
No, it's true though. I said that. I said I even had moments of that at my bachelorette party last weekend where I'm like, I feel like societally I'm supposed to be doing this, but I find this quite strange. Like I don't, like, and I loved being there, but I have these moments where I kind of have to like make myself be in the moment and not feel like I'm an old soul that's like, why are we doing this?
I just love you. And it's funny if our age, when we met, it was like meeting a child, but it's funny now you're an adult and I'm an adult. I'm an older adult than you because I was an older adult then. but we are so similar.
Yes.
And I've always just loved you. We've never been like buddies because, again, it would be like, hey, child, do you want to come hang out with me at a bar you can't come to?
Yeah.
But it is very funny. There's a lot of similarities. And I think these conversations make a lot of songwriters feel less alone.
Yes.
Like, we are such weird people.
Yes.
We are programmed to overthink everything. And when I tell you, like, when I would see you in a writer's round, I was always like, in my heart of hearts, I was like, man, this bitch is about to make everybody cry. And I'm like, how the hell is she going to get these songs cut? How the hell? And it was during the climate at that time. I was having simultaneous like empathy and just admiration. And it was just bouncing back and forth because you really could command a room. And it wasn't just your voice, although your voice is enchanting. It was your songwriting. You're obviously going for the bone. That's what we're all kind of meant to do. And I think we're sort of talked out of it because it's not lucrative at certain points in music history. But then here the fuck we are, bitch. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It comes around. It comes around. Anyway, you're 15, you're doing the thing.
Yes.
Okay.
No, at this point I'm 13. So my parents took me to record this song for my 13th birthday. I had a mouthful of braces in an 8-minute song. They didn't tell me where we were going. I was like, where are we? It was kind of like a weird part of town. And they take me to this warehouse. And I'm like, am my parents about to murder me? Like, what's happening? We go in, they're like, surprise, you're recording one of your songs today. Like, here's an engineer. And like, yeah, I was so embarrassed. I was mortified. I was like, oh my gosh, they probably record real songwriters. This is in Florida, by the way, in like a random hole in the wall studio, like near where I grew up. And they introduced me to this engineer, and they're like, he's going to record you singing and playing one of your songs so we could capture this like cute phase you were in where you wrote songs.
Oh my God.
And I was like, this is so embarrassing. He probably records real songwriters. Like, no one's taught me how to do this. Like, I'm probably doing it wrong. Like, I don't know. I played piano by ear. Like, I was like very, very uncomfortable. And I had this 8-minute song. And then the guy was like, do you think you could cut it in half? Like, maybe make it like 4 minutes. Like, get rid of some of the verses. And I was like, I hate this. It's not even done. Like, it's probably going to be longer than 8 minutes because this boy down the street keeps making me sad. And every time he makes me sad, I read another verse. And I could like see his house from the window at the piano. And it was just like my own little like diary entry. You know what I mean?
You were way ahead of your time.
I guess, but I didn't know what was happening. That was just like, for whatever reason, the way I just like naturally processed
your programming
things in my life.
Can I say too? I mean, I don't have much to add here except that I worked at a demo factory, which was also like work for hire. Like you could just pay an amount of money, anybody, and they would record your song with a full band. And I spent a lot of time with teenagers, like whose parents were bringing them to Nashville for their birthday, literally doing exactly that. And
how soul sucking was that?
It wasn't.
It wasn't?
No, it was fun.
Was it sweet? Because like in my imagination, it's sweet the first 3 times, and then I'm like, would I?
No, a lot of the professional songwriters that was way more soul sucking.
Wow, good.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, wow. No.
Doing demos with the I mean, yeah,
I feel
that was a
that.
lot more cynical of an experience. I mean, there's also amazing experiences with them, and the great ones were great, and whatever, and the great, I've got to work with. Anyway, it's not about me, but I can just say,
it's
like,
always about you, Kevin.
I've been on the other side of the glass from 13-year-old mags, and it's you just want them to have a fun time and be nice and be encouraging, and it was like you could see the ones who were like really there to do it, and the ones who were just like shitting themselves.
Yeah,
the whole
that
time.
was me.
Yeah.
I was freaking out.
It's hard. It's a
way.
really hard thing, even for grown-ups to cut song to record a song.
Yeah.
It's
a
terrifying.
very vulnerable experience.
It was a song called The Black Keys, and I wrote it on the black keys of the piano, and it was like, this song's in the black keys, the white are too bright for me today. And there was like a line
you are the
that
most
was like,
meta bitch.
It
That
used
is so
to be,
amazing.
I was 12. It's like, it used to be just you and me against the world. Now it's you and the world against me. And it was like, so, I don't know. It was very emo. But
I would write both of those ideas today. Like today. With an artist who is legit signed.
I'm really
those are
glad,
great ideas. At 12, Dear God.
I'm really glad Ordinary happened because I'm not even joking. For years, my whole family was like, Black Keys was the one. Like, you honestly have gotten worse since then. Like, that was your best song. We all still remember that one the most. Like, yeah. So I was like, dang, like, did I peak at 12? Like, I don't know, you know? So, but I wrote this song, recorded it.
Hilarious.
You could hear my braces in the recording. Like, it's very, it's a lot of, lot of that happening. And the engineer sent it to an engineer friend of his in New York who was working with Nick Cannon that day. So we're having dinner like 2 nights later, like family dinner, and my dad's like cutting his steak and he's like, Nick Cannon called me today about your song. And I was like, this is a really weird joke. Like, why Nick Cannon? He was married to Mariah Carey at the time. Like, they just had the twins. Like, it was like that era. And I was like, what? And he was like, I'm not calling him back. Like, this is crazy. Like, we're not actually pursuing this. Like, this was just your birthday present. And I was like, wait, he's being serious. Like, Nick Cannon called him about my song. And I
Your
was
dad
like,
was wilding out.
Yeah, he was like freaking out. And I was like, you have to call him back. I was like, we're in Clearwater, Florida. Like, the music scene here is like Jimmy Buffett covers and Hawaiian shirts. Like, this could be the only time in my life that someone in the actual music industry like could tell me about music or songwriting or like what I'm doing. Like, please call him. So he was like, fine, okay, just this one time. So he called him and Nick had us come to New York to meet with him. And he was like, people are going to try to change you in this industry. You got to stay true to yourself. And he was like telling me all this stuff. And my parents were like, yeah, okay, no, we're just doing this to appease her. And like this, so this is a cool story she can tell her kids one day. And then we're going back home. Like, she wants to be a lawyer, pushing her in that direction.
She wants to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
At 13, 14, or 15, you had your
Did they say those words?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for sure.
They're like,
I wore my like Jessica
McClintock
McClintock like middle school dance dress to the meeting. It was great. So anyway, that all happened.
This
and
is
then
amazing.
He introduced me to a girl he was managing at the time named Gabby Wilson, who's now the artist Her.
Oh my God.
And so she was my first friend in music. We were both 13. We like used to play charity shows together for like Make-A-Wish Foundation and stuff at like Disney World. It was, you know, an era where my parents were like, okay, if they're doing shows like locally enough, we'll let you go play those, but we're not signing anything. We're not doing anything. Like, this is crazy. And then I also wrote songs like at the church I grew up in, like for the kids choir and stuff, for like the Christmas program or whatever. And our pastor's son was interning for Steve-O, who's at Atlantic Records at the time. And like somehow he got a hold of my demo, sent it to him. Steve-O
demo.
Yes, this one demo.
The one song.
The one song.
I'm going to fade away. This
drove
is
over. No, seriously, he drove to our house and like had me play for him on piano, like played him like the other like few songs I'd written at that point. He had me showcase for them in New York. They wanted me to go on the first season of The Voice. And I was like, I don't want to sing someone else's songs. Like, I already knew that. I didn't see myself as a singer at all. Like, I purely saw me singing as a vessel for like something I had to say. I didn't know what that meant. I just knew that I was like, why would they want to hear me sing? Like, I don't know. Like, that makes me uncomfortable. And my parents were like, yeah, you have 3 siblings. We're not moving to New York or LA and like doing this. Like, that's unrealistic. So I went back home, back to school. And then my grandma calls from Vero Beach, Florida, which is funny. You're wearing a shirt from there right now.
Amazing.
And she's like,
that's where they live, by the way. That is where the grandmas live.
That's amazing.
It's a very common grandma destination.
100%.
Grandmas in general.
It's true. But she calls and is like, I was having lunch with one of my best friends and I was bragging about you and played your demo. And she said her daughter works in the music industry in Nashville and wants to meet with you because she sent her your song. And it was Allison Jones.
Oh my God.
At Big Machine. So Allison's, I want to get this right. Allison's like mom and my grandmother were best friends because their mothers were also like best friends. So like several generations back, I guess in Vero Beach, like our families were really connected. And Allison calls and is like, I heard your demo. I think you need to come to Nashville and meet with me. And at this point, my parents were like, this is weird. Like, we have not pursued this at all. These people keep coming out of the woodwork. They were like, if you actually want to do this with your life at some point. We don't want to have closed all these doors for you.
Well, that's a good shift, Mom and Dad, because that was a lot of clues.
Yeah.
A lot of wow. Okay, wow.
And so it was like this kind of thing where they were like, okay, this is weird at this point. And so I came here, I was like, Nashville, like I'd never really thought about Nashville. I really thought it was like very, very country. And like I was listening to like Adele at the time. Like that was like my number one artist.
You were right. You were right probably at that point too.
I don't even know what I
thinking
thought.
About the math.
It was like Regina Spektor, Adele, like Carole King, like those were like my girls, like the sad piano pop vibes.
Yes.
So I go to Nashville and Allison says, you should start co-writing. I want to set you up on some co-writes. And I was like, excuse me, what is that? And she was like, you'll like go in a room and like write a song with these writers. And I was like, do people paint paintings together? Like, I think I asked her that. And I was like, I can't imagine, like, I couldn't fathom something that was like so personal to me.
I'm obsessed with you.
Like doing that with someone else.
Incredible story. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. No. I am on the edge of my fucking seat.
No, but she was like, no, like you'll go in the room with these people, whatever. My first co-write ever is with Liz Rose. So I'm like looking at her. No, this is why I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. 15 years later, here we are. Like, no. Anyway, it was a long, long journey, but it started high. I was up here. Actually, I've been really grateful recently to have the chance to like redeem myself with a lot of these people I was put in with really early when I knew like nothing about co-writing, because I'm like, oh, thank God I get another chance. Like I was just like fumbling my way. I showed up with blank sheet music to the session and she was like, oh my God, put that away. Like, I don't know what to do with that. And I was like, oh, I don't either. I'm so glad. Like, no one told me what to bring to your first co-writing session.
You're probably more prepared, though, than a lot of people.
I love that you didn't know what to do with it, though.
No, I know. I
so good.
like,
I'm picturing blank sheet music.
Well, I thought someone there would.
There's going to be like a musical stenographer there.
Yeah, well, I was like, I don't want to come unprepared to this. And they're like, oh, you didn't bring your sheet music? Like, I don't know.
Oh, dang.
So I go and then I was like so relieved that like she thought about songwriting like a very similar way that I did, just naturally. And then I went to a show at the Bluebird before like it was known from the show Nashville or whatever. And I watched 4 songwriters sit in a circle and tell a story and then sing a song. And I was like, oh my gosh, these are my people.
This is it.
Like,
yeah.
At that point on, I was like obsessed. I was like, I have to figure out how to be in Nashville. I have to learn from these people. Like, I felt like a fish out of my water my whole life. And then I was like, the way they process their life and thoughts are like the same. It's like the same vessel that
You're giving me chills because I just love this, because this is
it's
so
true.
Us.
It is.
It is so a recognition of like, oh my God, that's my school of fish.
Yeah.
I need to fucking get in that school.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Fully. And I also like loved it. People are like, was it weird to write with people so much older than you and you were so young? I was like, no, actually, I loved it. Sometimes it was weird when it was like a man like 4 times my age being like,
Gross.
so what's going on in the hallway at school? And I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I don't know. Like,
Ew. But also,
that could be weird.
It is weird how age is like not kind of a thing.
Yes.
Except for that particular category, which is an odd pairing.
Totally.
But like, yeah, I love that about this too. And there's no ageism in this. It's really about your best song and everyone just going, oh my God, you did that.
Well, and it's about connection.
Yes.
Like, I loved that I was like, okay, like I like struggled in school to feel like normal, you know what I mean? And like was always in my head and like, I don't know. It was like so nice to just be around people where I'm like, oh, you don't care that I'm like 15 and like new here or whatever. Like there's just this like straight to it kind of like conversation and songwriting. Like it was just so deep and people were willing to go there. And I always felt like I was willing to, but like no one around me. I remember my mom telling me in school once, I was like really frustrated coming home from school and I was like, I just feel like no one gets me. Like, the classic creative trope. But she was like, Maggie, you can't describe the depth of the ocean to a puddle. She's like, when you just accept that some people are oceans and some people are puddles, your life will get a lot less frustrating.
Mama wins.
Yeah.
That's a great
I think about
analogy.
That a lot. But and that's
I
not
still
like,
have to think like that. I'm 46. Like I still have to go, this is not your room, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of a cut. Like it still feels like a cut. Like even after all these years, after all these years, you're still like in this thing where you're trying to fit in. It's like such a thing.
It is. It's strange.
Oh man.
What strikes me, knowing kind of the fast forward of your story a little bit, is that even when this hits and you know these are your people and you're so excited, it still took a minute. And there was still endurance and still like sticking with it and moving towns, which we're going to get to, I'm sure. But it's not just immediate. Even in that beautiful creative space, it's still the town. I always come back to what Mike told me about Laura early on. Nashville's not ready for her yet, but they will be. And that was when we first met.
Second. Yeah.
Yeah. And it sort of catches up.
I think that my favorite part about this story is, once again, it's the fact that you had every possible stroke of good luck in the beginning. And yet, and by the way, good luck merited. You obviously wrote a song that moved people, and there you are in all these rooms. I love the fact that we can tell the new people that even with all of that luck, it does not guarantee a fast track, period. Like, it still took a long time for you to get your feet firmly in the ground here. And who knows, like everything is hindsight, 2020, blah, 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 blah. But like, I love that because to me, it's the more telling thing that this should take a minute.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. I also think it's really, really vital. I can't stress enough, like how you frame what has happened to you in your own mind. Like, I really fought the fight in my brain of like, I failed here. Like, I was trying to be an artist and it didn't work. And like, I'm either going to like give up or I'm going to go to LA and like try to make it as, I just had this thing with when I went there of like, I want to write the songs and see what doors those open. Like, whether they're for me, someone else, whatever they were, just like ridding myself of an expectation of it like has to be me and it has to be my story and it has to be this, whatever it was. I just like wanted to love songwriting again because
I love it.
That was like something I'm like, gosh, if I lose that, like that's like the thing that's like got me through so much. Like, how do I get through this if I don't have that, you know? And it was this very strange mindset, but I just remember going out there and it's like I can either choose like the path of like defeat, like, and like say like, okay, like I didn't succeed at this, or this failure has prepared me for something else. And I think for me, I kind of reframed it where I was like, okay, I got a master class from like the best songwriters in the world of like how they work with an artist in the room. I was the artist. Like, learning from that perspective and being like, okay, when I go in with a young artist, like the do's and don'ts of like what I wish I had or hadn't experienced, I can apply to this new chapter. And like, I think I really gravitated towards working with young artists that like hadn't been told who they are yet or what they should be or shouldn't be, because I wanted to like help nurture that and protect that. And like, I felt this like almost like thinking of my younger self and what like I didn't know then. I was like, I want to like be someone that like an artist can like open up to and trust and feel like no matter what, I want them to leave the room with a song that feels like them, you know? And like that was a true expression. And I think that was like a hard road because it was like, okay, go write this pitch song for Selena Gomez. I don't know her. Like, I don't know what she wants to say. Like, you know, and so you kind of go through those sessions and you're like trying to find your way. You're like hoping you get in with the big artist that you've always dreamed of working with, but you do and you don't click. And it's like, oh my gosh, like it all was riding on that. Like, I was so grateful that my like break, so to speak, was with someone who was previously like unknown, you know, because there were no preconceived notions of like what he had to be. And we're in a time in music where like something different is something that can win. So it kind of felt like all those years of like struggle and experience like came to this moment in a way.
Yes, it was a crescendo.
Yeah, but I could have told myself, okay, that didn't work. Like, I'm going to just go crawl into a hole now and like never emerge because I can't show my face in Nashville.
You also could have kept going with a grudge,
Yeah.
which I feel like is a choice we all make.
Totally.
I'm really curious about what, like, I know in the very beginning we're talking 12, which is an adorable thing to say. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. But when you started back in the day, when you began your career at 12, you weren't interested in being an artist. What pulled you towards that? Was it just chirpy in the ear, like, girl, these songs are never gonna get cut. It's you. Like, what seduced that, like, interest out of you? Because
That's a good question.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like even considering the fact that a studio was like, this feels embarrassing, which again, I identify. I remember this one point. And you had parents who did it right. I had parents who did it really hilariously wrong. But one thing that I wanted to be an actor. And so I got a present one time too. And it was glamour shots at the mall. And I remember because I wanted to be an actor and I needed whatever. And it was, to me, like, gutturally the most humiliating thing in the world to be like, like, I hated it. Everything about it just made me want to recoil. I didn't know at the time that was me saying, you don't want to be in front of people.
Yeah.
Like, this, you might love acting, but like, come up with something else because this is not for you. You don't like being the center of attention, which I feel like we might have that in common.
Yes.
So what seduced that interest out of you?
I think it was like self-expression. Like, I think there's a difference between wanting to be the center of attention and wanting to express yourself. And like, I really felt like that was important to me.
Yes.
And so I thought, and at the time, like, think of like the artists that were happening in Nashville in 2012. Like, they weren't going to put me in a room to write for Florida Georgia Line. Like, there really wasn't an artist.
They really weren't going to, were they?
At 12? No, I was not writing crews. I couldn't drive, like, there wasn't a path to that. I think the doors just started opening. I fell in love with songwriting. I didn't really like know what that meant or even what like being an artist would mean. I think I found inadvertently, like, I think there's a version of me that like would have loved being an artist if I could have done it my way. Like, if I could have just like really written like purely what I wanted to do, like what I wanted to say. Like, I love performing in that regard. Like, if I get up and sing a song that like feels like me, I do it all day long. Like, it's so much fun and it doesn't feel like I'm doing it for anyone. It just feels like I'm doing this because this is in me, But I was never going to be the kind of artist that like stood behind a song to be famous. You know what I mean? It was like, I rather would have never become known for being someone else than like never be known for being myself. If that makes any sense. I probably messed that up.
You know what it reminds me of is Steve Moakler, who was weirdly on. It's funny. I don't like, we're friends, but there is a hook that he wrote that still to this day, I think.
Yes.
I bet you know what it is.
Yeah.
I'd rather make a living being myself than make a killing being anybody else or anyone else. I love that hook. It has stayed with me.
True.
I just heard it at a songwriter round and I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So well said. And so much better than how I just said it.
But honestly, in a way, it's funny because there's an irony here. That song, I don't think ever got cut. But one person, and I'm guessing two, like, I just love the power of songs. I just love it. I love it. Like, it just affected me. It made me go, oh yeah, that's who I am. That's who I am. And it's like that. I don't know how much money that song has made.
Right.
But I know how it affected me. And that to me is exactly, it's the expression. It's wanting to just express yourself. And it's such a tricky business trying to make it lucrative. It's tricky. So, okay. So someone's saying, be you, but also how...
The only way to be you is to be an artist in that time, right? You had to perform your songs in order to.
Is this when Girls of Nashville like entered the picture? Like,
I loved the first album I made. It's not on the internet anymore. It was called Vignette. It was under Maggie Chapman.
Did you scrape it? Did you take it down?
It's like I still get DMs like once a week from some random girl from Tumblr that like found
Begging
me somehow. Like,
yeah.
Can you please send me the song? There was a spoken word intro. It was weird. It was like
I want it.
I was so embarrassed.
Send it to me.
Because it was like we made it when I was like 16. Like Luke produced it. It's like I go back to it. I'm like, oh, like why was I so ashamed of myself at that age? I don't really know, And like, I think there was like a period of time where it was like, okay, you made this thing. Everyone in town was like buzzing about it, thinking it was cool. Like it got some cool press, things like that. But I wasn't getting offered a record deal. And everyone was like, okay, well, it's not country enough to be country. It's not pop enough to be pop. If like you actually want to do this, you have to pick one. And it felt inauthentic for me to be a country artist, especially with what that meant at the time. It was like the only women that were having any commercial success in country were Miranda and Carrie. And even that was a fight.
Yes.
And so I was like, okay, I don't belong in that space. But then I also was not going to be the next Katy Perry. Like, could have told you that then. But, it was like, okay, well, maybe we could make this super pop. Like, maybe we could, like, kind of take what I do. And I was working with Benny Blanco and I was working with, like, all of these people, John Hill. And I made this project with Luke Laird and John Hill. And, like, I had a blast making it. It was really fun. And then there were some songs on it by the end of it where I was, like, crawling out of my skin. I was like, I don't want to perform this. And I'm terrified to tell anyone that because there's been so much like time and money and like.
Meanwhile, you're fucking 16 years old.
Yeah.
Like that is so
heavy. I was
heady.
still a teenager.
So heavy.
It was. I had like severe anxiety at that time.
I want to circle back to your parents for a second.
Yeah.
And the reason I say this is because I have a very strict rule with my children about. I would have been like them. Like, surprise, birthday.
Yeah.
How exciting. No, you're not getting into a professional fucking field right now. You're a kid. Be a kid, be a kid, be a kid. Like, that's the way I'm approaching my kids because, frankly, it's this that I'm terrified of for them, is feeling the weight of other people's investment in them as children.
Right.
Like, that is a scary thought. And obviously, it's age old. We're talking Shirley Temple, Justin Bieber, like the list goes on and it's still happening. People kind of like putting their children into professional situations. And I'm not here to judge, but oh my God, count to 12 before you consider this for your kids.
Yeah.
Because you obviously, and your parents know you, I'm guessing, really well. They know you're not going to break.
Yeah.
Because you are obviously not going to break. You made that really clear. But there is a world where you say, okay, I'm the next Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Put the fucking candy boobs on
Yeah.
me. Like I have to figure this out because these people are depending on me. You don't have the frontal lobe.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Prefrontal lobe me was something
that
else.
stuff is a real thing, and it's not you, it's everybody. But I admire your parents for trying to hold you back. I also admire them for letting experience. Like I admire all of it because if my kid was as serious as you about anything, it would be really hard,
I know.
So I it's just one of those things I walk in one day at a time, one step at a time, because I'm terrified of hurting my kid by way of, Shirley Temple. Like it's a scary thought.
It's true. It's terrifying. And I think we have more of an insight into it than most people because of this industry.
100%.
I think from the outside looking in, like you don't really know what that entails. And I think, I appreciate this. They felt more comfortable with Nashville from the beginning because they were like, okay, like we are sitting down and having conversations with these people. My mom was driving me to co-writes because I couldn't drive yet. Like she would like talk to everyone. That's why like she was so involved in my life here because, they wanted to make sure they weren't leaving me for 8 hours in a room with like someone creepy. And I'm so grateful for that because I look back and I'm like, to have started a career this young, I had the best case scenario. Like Beth and Luke are incredible people.
I was just about to say, and like the instincts there are strong. Like they found parents.
Yeah. Truly.
Who would rather you be happy than be successful. That's Beth in a nutshell. Like that's Luke in a nutshell. We know these people really well.
Yeah.
The fact that your parents chose that because there may have been many offers and they were like,
They did.
You know?
Yeah, I had to bring my guitar to the courthouse and sing one of my songs for the judge to like prove that I wasn't being forced against my will to sign a deal underage. Because I was 15.
This makes me want to barf.
No way.
It's so crazy.
Seriously. I had to go downtown to the courthouse with my guitar and sing for the judge and like prove that I wasn't being like forced.
So you could enter into
because
the
you're
contract.
getting into a professional
setting.
It's fun. I've talked to Beth about coming on the podcast just to talk about how she does business.
Yes.
And this is a great example of doing it the right way.
I just think she is one very strong example of she's getting involved in your humanhood.
Yes.
And that to me is a rare find. And I feel like she would rather her company go down in flames than hurt the people that she signs. You know what I mean? Particularly the babies, you know? I just feel like I love Beth. I think I just really respect how
she's amazing. And like no one has been happier for me than her and
that
Luke.
Tracks.
And that is like I mean, I can't imagine the feeling of like having invested so much time and energy into something and then not being on that team when like the thing happens. You know, yeah. And like they have just been so kind and so supportive and so like happy, genuinely happy that this is happening. And
I not only believe that, but I know it to be true. Like I know it to be true.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people in this industry that show their true colors when things actually start to work out.
It's amazing how many subtextual conversations we've had on this couch with people where even the listener doesn't really know what's happening. But I'm going, that sucked, didn't it? And the person's going, no, they're great. You know what I mean? Like I trust me. I understand and I've seen it. You know, now you've seen it. You've seen it from the other view. Like this is a very money hungry industry. And that's not a crime. Inherently, that's not a crime. It's the handling this moment poorly that just happens over and over and over again. And it's something that we caution, you know, starting a publishing company. Count to 12. Who you're signing.
Of course.
You know, count to 15. Like it's a tough industry. And I'm just so happy that you were so elegantly held. You know, your parents were protective of you and the people that they found were protective of you because this stuff really, it's so beyond being let me use this word. It's a little strong of a word, but a failure. Let's say none of this worked. That is not the worst case scenario to me. The worst case scenario is completely breaking your spirit. And like, to me, that's the thing that I see in success.
Wow. Yes.
And I'm like, we've lost the fucking plot. Like the painting thing you said. It's like, you know what I mean? It's that. I'm so happy that no one changed your mind, Maggie. Like I'm so happy no one changed your mind. And now you're a full ass adult. How old are you, by the way?
29.
Frontal lobe. We're here.
Oh, thank God.
Welcome.
I would not go back. Would not go back.
No, I think like that's a theme too in this industry. I feel like the teen years for a songwriter are trash. Unless I don't know who those people are that are like, oh my God, my teen years were the best. Like I don't know any of those people. Hard pass, 0 out of 10 stars. Would not do again.
100%.
Yeah. All that to say, wow.
You have to get those diary entries done.
Oh my gosh.
You got to get those all.
Just
the 9 verses for the boy.
It was,
I can't believe that. That's so great. Okay, I want to talk about Girls of Nashville only because you did something really beautiful for this town, and lots of people are trying to do it, and it's an equitable thing to do. By some standards, it's some people would be like, why just girls? Or oh, the girl thing. Like, something that I've always recoiled about, no shade to Music Row magazine because they are showcasing everything we do. But something that they do is they separate female and male songwriters for the nominees. So female songwriter of the year. And the only reason they do it is out of equity. They're trying to be equitable because they know that no women would be nominated most of the time. if it were just Songwriter of the Year, because this is a boys' town and we all know that.
Yeah.
Girls of Nashville did a similar like equitable thing where it was just like, we're just going to take a minute. Just this one, it was a seasonal thing. It was beautiful. You always did it with such beauty and they were fun. Anyway, please tell us about that.
It was actually a guy's idea. I don't remember his name. It was so long ago. I was like 16 years old and it's like a venue that doesn't even exist anymore, but I opened a show for Caitlin Smith. And then like the next week she did like the same showcase at this place and Heather Morgan opened for her. And I went and like, we were all like there like supporting each other. And the sound guy was like, I never get to see like two girls play a show back to back in Nashville. Like, you're so good. Like, would you guys be down to host like a girls' night here sometime?
Sick.
And we were like thinking about all of our friends and like all of the talented, like amazingly talented female songwriters in Nashville. And we were like, oh, what about so-and-so? What about so-and-so? Oh my gosh. And so we all just like went on a frenzy, like texting everyone. And then we got too many people that said yes. So we had 12 girls say yes. And we were like, shoot, like a round is like 3 or 4 people max. How are we going to do this? Okay, like we'll do 3 rounds. Everyone does 2 songs and we'll do that. And it was like, they were literally turning people away at the door. Like it was packed in there. It was crazy. And like Maren Morris played the first one ever. Nicole, like it was like such a special night.
It was.
And we were, and you played the early ones too. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is a thing. There's a demand for this. There's like a clear lack of this in this town. And it wasn't like this intentional thing like, oh, like we're oppressed, we're gonna start this thing, like, which it was all true, but it wasn't the motivation behind it. It was genuinely like a guy being like, would you guys host a girls' night? And like we thought of so many people and we were like, wow, I guess we never really do get to all see each other play because we're usually siphoned off in this industry.
We're peppered.
Like, we really are. It's like people are putting together a session. Oh, there's already a female top liner in that room. Like, like, okay, we already have a girl in that round, or there isn't one. And like, and I think what's scary about it is like, as a young woman in the industry, you internalize things you see and you're like, okay, this is normal. There's only room for one girl. Yep. Like, we can't have multiple girls in this, and I just really didn't like seeing that.
Yep.
And I didn't want that to be like the reality of the situation. I was also facing it as an artist at the time, feeling like I can't be a country artist. Like, I can't compete with this. Like, it's a sea of men with 2 first names and like 2 girls, It was just,
you're hilarious.
It was true. I was like, I feel like, and just like the pressure on women here to be so beautiful and so unique and so talented.
That was a really tough time. You guys showcased a bunch of people all together, and it was an opportunity for everyone to see each other, which I think is really sick.
Totally.
And we're obviously seeing the seeds that you planted long ago finally come out in Nashville now. I feel like women stuck together long enough now where we're seeing the wave that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
And we thought it was going to happen 10 years ago. We thought it was going to happen 8 years ago. We kept hoping, oh my God, when are we not tomatoes? Like, please.
Yes. Oh, the tomato thing. Oh my gosh. Never
Trash. All that to say, you definitely, you planted seeds that were sustained and watered. Like, people holding on to each other and refusing to believe that, and it's wild too, because like from a business standpoint, it's still really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it just makes me so excited because I do feel like we all had to hang on a really long time to watch this happen.
Yes.
And it's happening.
It's so true. And that's like a big reason why I wanted to move back here. So I always wanted to move back to Nashville. In the back of my mind, I was like, LA is a chapter. I moved out there when I was 21. I was like, if there's any time in my life that I'm just going to do this and like be there and struggle and figure it out, and it's now, because I had no responsibilities beyond myself at that point. And I always knew I wanted to come back here. Like, I loved Nashville. I didn't want to leave. I felt like I got kicked out a little bit, to be honest. I was meeting with people after my Creative Nation deal, and everyone was like, you want to write pop music too? We don't do that here. Like, go to LA, basically. Or like, no one wanted to touch that either because obviously like Beth and Luke are so revered in this town, and like I didn't want that to be weird. Like I grew up in that deal. Like I was there from when I was 15 to 21. Like it was like that age you naturally graduate from a place, you know. In school, if I had been in school, I would have graduated. Like you like kind of have to kind of go and become who you are without like your hand being held from people that like knew you from when, you know, like it's like a natural progression.
Yes. I'm really thrilled you went out there because frankly, that's 5 years of being told like there is no spoon, so to speak.
Yes.
Here it's like there's such a spoon.
Yeah.
And you have to do it a certain way. And
Of
your writing would have been very different if you had stayed. Your writing would have been wonderful because the people here are doing it a specific way that is amazing. It's amazing. And people like Ella Langley have like happened because women stayed in those rooms. Joy Beth and like it's because that happened. You though, and I just feel like you made a really good decision because you're weird, dude.
Thank you.
And you, in the best way. You're weird. And I think here it's real easy to get your weird ironed out.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that didn't happen to you.
Gosh. Well, I respect people that did stay here and their weird is now being celebrated too.
Yes.
Like I see people like Gabe Simon, like, you know, like
oh my
people
God, well said.
I worked with and I was like, Conrad Snyder, like so many people,
Ian
Fitchuk, like they're
Daniel
Tashian. Yeah, we're thinking of the same people.
Totally.
Where it was like, they like did not conform.
They stayed.
They stayed like just strange and true and like.
Let me also say they were full ass adults.
Yes.
When they began.
True. Yeah.
So you're right. And they inspired an entire, I mean, Casey Musgraves just single-handedly, maybe everyone you just mentioned, just like validated all the weird, which is incredible. We talk about her constantly on this podcast. But like,
so cool.
She's amazing. But the truth of it is you were really young.
Yeah.
So I like,
and at that time, very impressionable.
Yes.
So
and so
that separation was probably really healthy.
To me, it was like when I go out to LA, and I do it like once a quarter, I'm out there kind of just remembering what it's like to be completely rule-free. Like, I mean, it's like...
Yeah, it's the
like
Wild West.
Picasso over there.
It's insane.
And I love it because it reminds me of who I am. But then I enjoy the toggle, which you will as well. If you understand the whole, like, I get to play in this sandbox, get to play in this sandbox. But anyway, I'm really happy you went out there and you found a bunch of people who fall in the family of writer that you are.
Yes.
Out there, we talked about them a bunch, but like Sully and Felly and all these wonderful women who are uniquely them.
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't know. It's a neat choice. I feel like you made a good choice, but I'm really happy you're back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was wild. LA is like, I moved out there 2019, was just like, I mean, the things I said yes to, I'm like, it is a miracle that I'm alive. Like, I literally was like out there 1 week, met a guy dressed as the Grim Reaper at a Halloween party, and he tried to hit on me, and I said, no, I'm not going to be the random girl you hook up with at a Halloween party. And I picked up a guitar and I like played a song, and he was like, wait, you're really good. I want to write with you. And I was like, sure, I'll write with you. He's like, why don't you come to this writing camp in Big Bear? And it's like with all these people I didn't know. I didn't even have a car in LA yet. So I was like, I got a ride with a producer I'd never met. And like, we're like having to put like snow chains on his tires at some like sketchy place, like at the foot of the mountain. And I'm like, maybe this is not.
Was this a choice?
I don't know what. Yeah. But I was like, it'll all work out, whatever. I get to this writing camp and I meet these two writers called After Hours. They're producers.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we're signed to Julian Bonetta and John Ryan, and like they would love you and like all this stuff. And like that's how I ended up getting connected with Big Family. And so it was crazy. It was like, oh my gosh, again, prefrontal lobe decision for sure. I was like, yeah, I'll just like go stay there for a week with like all these, all I know from this scenario is the Grim Reaper. Like,
I love that
that'll work out. I was
began with death. That's amazing.
As Marilyn Monroe. It was great. But that's how I got connected there. And it was like crazy. And they invited me to this writing camp in Palm Springs, and it was like 50 people, and it was insane. And it was like idea, like so different from how I wrote here.
Was it fun?
I was stressed out of my mind.
Because camps kind of make me feel a little bit.
No, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do?
Overwhelm.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that like? Like, I'd love to. I've never been to a writing camp.
Yeah.
So, with 50 people, it sounds unnerving.
You start because it really is, and it's a
what do
fun
you do?
thing to
You walk
describe.
in, where are you? Start from the
Where are
door.
you is a good question. You really go in there and you're like, I don't know if this is summer camp or work or like who these people are. I guess we're all having a big sleepover.
Yeah.
Like, this is strange. It was very fun. And I will say, I don't think one song got cut out of that entire camp.
They rarely do.
No, but the relationships like lasted for life. Like, I still am like, we still laugh about it. We really all like bonded in an interesting way. They really know how to throw a party. It was wild. But I was like, where am I? Like, this is such a different world from where I came from. But I hit it off with them, and then I actually signed my publishing deal with them the day before the pandemic hit.
Lord.
The day before lockdown. So it was like, oh, like there's 100%er I wrote that's on hold with Selena Gomez. There's this happening. Like, I had like things in the pipeline that like in my mind, in my lawyer's mind, like justified the advance I was taking. And then everything went away the day after I signed. It was like, no one's putting out any song right now. The world's ending. And I was in LA in my apartment by myself, like barely had any friends there yet. And like, I think there was like an entire month I didn't see one human. And I was just like waiting around, like hoping things started again and writing on Zoom. And it was like, I mean, the pandemic out there was like a 2-year-long isolation. Like, it was very intense.
Wow.
And yeah.
Can I ask you about that deal?
Yeah.
Did you got an advance different than obviously you've experienced in Nashville one. You got an advance. Were you locked in until recoupment?
Yes. Yeah. Took me 5 years.
How do you feel about that now?
In one regard, it's like I have full reversion on my catalog and I had co-pub. So it's like I'm seeing the benefit of doing something like that at this point where I'm grateful for that. But in the time, it was hell. It was mentally like just impossible because it was like, I don't know how I will recoup. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know if I will. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how long I have to make this money last. It was like a very, very difficult headspace to be creative in.
So for every one of you that recoups, there's maybe a handful that don't.
Yeah.
And that mentality, I'm just curious because you've experienced what it's like to be like, you're signed for this amount of time. Do your best.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're signed until further notice.
Yep.
The difference is, to me, a really difficult way to stay creative.
Yes.
Very difficult. I've never signed that other kind because it terrifies me. I don't even know what it would do to me if I had no financial woes.
Yeah.
The mentality, even if I had nothing to buy, I'd still be like, wait, what now? I have to do what before I have freedom? Anyway, just if you could, for the future Mags Duvals of the world, can you just be it in as succinctly as you can, like what this mentally feels like in the writing room and what this mentally feels like?
Maybe let's set it up so that the listener knows too the difference in those deals.
Yeah.
Where you know, in quote Nashville deal, it's a period of time. Hey, we're going to sign you for 3 years. Here's a draw. Versus the LA in the most basic sense is here's a lump sum of money. When you recoup, you are then free from that deal or ability to move on, right?
Yeah.
And recoupment means, just for funsies, you pay back on the publishing share that you have. So you had some publishing because that could recoup, but that excludes this other big chunk called your writer's share. So really, whatever you own on that, it's just a slow process. If it's slow, it's slow. If it's fast, it's fast, essentially.
Yes, exactly.
And it could be decades. It could be decades.
Oh, yeah. You truly never know. And I feel like the writer-producers in LA that I know are less stressed about it. And oftentimes they take a smaller advance because they're not trying to fully live on that. They're like living on their production fees. And like, you know, so it's like a different mentality.
100%.
And I think it's a difficult time to just be like, as a songwriter, I'm going to do it this way. And and it's hard because it's like people even explain to you what that is. Like my lawyer explained to me what I was signing, but at the time, the things that like were supposed to come out like relatively soon in theory would have recouped me relatively quickly, you know, and it just all went away like the second I signed. So,
and that's not exclusive to pandemics.
No,
right.
no,
it happens.
To anybody.
Yes,
it happens all the time.
A lot of people can get signed based on like something that's potentially going to happen. If I could tell my younger self something in that regard, I would never take an advance that I didn't know. Like it's hard to say because in theory it's like, okay, this allows me to be able to show up to work and like do this, but at the same time, it's such a weight and it's such a fear and it's such a like intense place to be creative from that like I think the writers that I know that have like held out on doing a publishing deal until they have something that's like already generating a certain amount of income where like they know that they're going to recoup relatively quickly or they're able to like have more leverage in their negotiation of the deal before they sign. Like
that's a big one.
It's a big one. It's a really big one because I had like zero leverage at that point. So, you know, like the timing in which you sign is like really important. And it's not like, oh, if I just like get a deal, then like I'll be good. It's like that's the beginning of like another like much bigger hurdle. But in retrospect, like I'm grateful that I have now I'm grateful that it was like a big bet on myself. You know what I mean?
And you obviously like, again, meteoric is not a small, it's not a big enough word for what happened with one song. And it's wild. It's like an under 3 minute. I mean, it's a crazy thought that one song could literally like
actually change your life.
Could change your life and be the difference between that being an enormous albatross or the best decision you've ever made.
No, truly.
And I love, in theory, the idea of betting on yourself. But I think it should be clear, you're betting on yourself anyway.
Yeah.
Just by trying to gamble on this job.
Absolutely.
And just be thoughtful before you sign things. Hi out there. Be thoughtful before you sign things. And I think you were about to say, and I don't want to finish a sentence for you, but you said, I would tell my younger self that I would never, and you were, I think, about to say, take an advance that's bigger than I know I could.
Take an advance that's based on something that is potentially going to happen. I think that for me is harder to swallow now because
can we walk through it like exactly like so somebody said you have 100%er on hold with Selena Gomez and you have this going on and we think predictively that could equal this amount of advance. Literally if you didn't have that one song, the 100%er, we think you deserve this amount. But all of this is all on potential. There's nothing actually about it. So to me, I feel like you were about to say, and I'll say it if you don't want to, I would never, at this point in my life, it's too scary.
It's scary.
To say.
It's really scary.
Oh my God, if this happens, this is going to make all the sense in the whole world. So yes, I'll take your quadrillions of dollars. When you could say, what do I really need though? What do I need? Like, I don't.
Totally.
I was going to, financially, when you signed that deal and the moonshot was happening and then the next day the pandemic hit, how did your financial mindset change from literally day one to day two? Because all of a sudden that became
really
it disappeared. So it's got to, I'm curious just even.
I mean, I was 22 years old at this point too. Like I think I was still 21. I was about to turn 22. And I like, in theory, I understood that LA deals were different from Nashville deals, but I didn't understand what that meant. Like I genuinely didn't. You know what I mean? Like until you're in it, I was like, oh, I have a 2-year deal with a 2-year option. Like these people around me wouldn't be advising me to do this or like giving me the go ahead if they didn't think that this was a good decision too. Like I genuinely just like didn't think that I was in over my head because I thought that like this is the way it works. Like, you know, I don't know. I kind of had like blind faith in the system and like now I don't trust anyone. So
great. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's. I think,
I'm glad to hear we're there.
Because did anybody say, well, here's this deal. And if all this goes away, here's what happens.
My lawyer, I love her. She's incredible. Her name's Audrey Benwelly. She is awesome. She explained to me in detail, and she was like, I would not sign a publishing deal if you don't have to right now. But I was in the Nashville school of thought of you're not taken seriously as a writer if you don't have a publishing deal. So like, it was an interesting conundrum because it was like, she was saying to me like basically like, you shouldn't do this. And I was saying, no, like, I'm excited. They're great people. I have these things going on. I was like very headstrong, and she is incredible. And thankfully, like, she's spared me from bad management deals. She's really helped me navigate a lot of things. But like, at the time, and it wasn't like a crazy egregious advance. Like, I have friends who've taken much, much, much higher advances than this, but it was so hard to recoup. Like, it's so impossible to recoup without a song that goes to radio. And in pop music, it was like impossible. Like, it was like I would have songs that would have hundreds of millions of streams, and there would be no plan to take them to radio.
Yep.
Like, none.
This is the
baffling.
Current problem we have, that I feel like, anyway, we have a lot of people listening.
Yes.
And I feel like if you're in the middle of signing a deal, or if there is a really awesome individualism that comes with, well, this will work for me.
Yeah.
This will work for me. And I want everyone to hear me say, it worked for you.
Yeah.
With an absolutely meteoric, unusual moment in songwriting. I'm not saying that it can't happen to you guys. I'm saying that it very rarely happens.
Yep.
It made sense of your deal. My like main cautionary thing is just that thing that says, I like these people. I feel good about this.
Yep.
And your lawyer is going, I don't know.
Yep.
Like, it'd be a really good time to educate yourself before pen hits the paper. Like, to me, that's the mistake, I think, is going, I know what I'm doing, because maybe you don't.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't learn. It's that you might not know right now. There's just like confidence and that, like, that thing that you need to get through this business, which is being sure of yourself. You have to have a component. I think that person ends up holding the pen, and it's just like, oh my God.
So excited.
Smack the pen out of this. Yeah, it's like,
totally.
Those people need to be sort of siphoned out in your personality. Like the person who believes that I could write the biggest song in the world. Keep that, but like, keep that person away from the paperwork just until it's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
there are two people, the business person and the creative. And it reminds me of a client, LA deal, and it's simple math. The good news is it's simple math. It can be simple math. How much do I need to live on? How much is the advance? How long, if nothing happens, can I stay alive?
Yes.
So when do I have to recoup?
Yeah.
To make this thing work, which is, to me, would be, as a creative, I think would be terrifying to have a deadline. Like, okay, I've got this advance is going to last me 5 years. If I don't have a hit in 5 years, I'm hosed.
Well, also, you
crushing.
Can't get out.
Right.
You can't have someone else that's a team with fresh energy offer you a new deal. 6 months into my deal, the company I signed to, big deal, got acquired by a catalog acquisitions company. And like, thankfully I had the big family side. Like, they, made me feel like I was still a part of something. And like, Wes Guykin over there has been incredible. Like, he literally was a godsend in my life, because I called him and he had just gotten hired there. He was John Ryan's assistant before. And I was like, you and I don't know each other, but like, I need you. I was like, I don't know where I stand in this. Like, I don't really know anyone at Hypnosis. I just got ingested into this system. Like, I know that like you're a good person, and like you're really hardworking, and like we can be a team, and like, and he's been incredible. Like, he really has been the silver lining and the one constant for me through like big deal selling to Hypnosis selling to Sony. Like, I'm like newly now Sony, all in the same deal. I've had 3 different deals. And there's nothing in that protecting the writer that says, hey, like, if your company that you signed to gets bought and sold, you get bought and sold with it. Like,
wow.
I think something you did there that too is kind of an incredible leadership quality of first being aware of the person you needed on your team, being vulnerable about, I need you, and let's work together as a team. Like, to me, those are some qualities that are very business oriented.
Those are big.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Powerful.
I had to learn to become business oriented over time. I really just wanted to be creative and in la la land.
But
in
you
my
can't
head.
be.
No.
I think that's the thing about
really
this
can't.
job.
You can't.
I feel like this episode is so chock full of excellent advice. And I want to say one last thing. If you're a publisher out there, perhaps we stop signing people to deals that never end. Come up with a different system. Come up with a different way to justify it to your, black line, red, whatever it is. I don't know. Do you? But please stop locking people in forever. That is cruel. There are dreams at stake here, and you got a little kid with a dream, and you've literally blocked them from finding a better team if you're not it. So please make better deals. Mags, you're amazing.
And I didn't say it.
Exactly. I said it.
And this fully does not go to the big family side. Like, they've been amazing.
That's
and
great.
stuck
I'm glad,
with me.
But if they are, I don't give a shit who you
it was
are.
More,
if you're writing
the
these
overarching
deals,
powers that be that kind
they're
of
wonderful
it.
people, and I love them all. But I don't care who you are. If you're writing these deals, it's fine. It's not Mags talking. It's me. These deals are going out of style. Like the lock in for everything. So just jump to the point, okay? It's not good business. It's not good creative business.
Yeah.
This is and by the way, this is not specific to them. It's everybody.
Yeah.
It's everybody. They're all doing it. So I'm giving you all shit. Just please stop making these deals. They're cruel. Any hoodle.
There's kind of a stigma too with like LA publishers versus Nashville publishers too. And I'll speak to that a little bit too with I think how the deals are structured. Like, I do think not everyone, thankfully not like Wes, like my team on that side has been amazing and so hands-on with me. But where I feel like in a Nashville deal, because they know they only have this writer for this certain amount of time, there's more of an urgency.
Yeah.
There's more of I want this writer to have this moment while we're working together.
Incentive.
And there's an incentive that's okay, well, in X amount of time, they're going to be out of this deal. And I either hustled for them or I didn't. Whereas in LA, it's you could be the one that you could literally not even spoken to your team for a year and booked everything yourself or your manager or whatever.
Happens all the
they're
time.
still going to have the same benefit of your success.
Happens all the time. And it's kind of, it's just not, it's not good creative business. I'll just maintain it's not good creative
agree
business.
With that, but
you build around people making things. And if you're nowhere near the people making things and somehow you benefit from it as at a distance, that's just weird. I don't like any of it. It's just a strange thing.
Might
Might
as well be a bank.
as well be a bank.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's
might
more,
as well
it's
be
more
a bank
oriented.
And guess what's cool about banks? You can leave.
Right.
You can literally be like, I don't want to bank here anymore. I'm going to go bank somewhere else. That's the part that I'm contentious with.
Yeah, of course.
Not being able to leave. Yeah. You are magical, effervescent, sweet, wonderful, an excellent leader in this community. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Kevin, you're the best. Tracy, I love these conversations. It's the best thing.
Good. Thanks for
Thank you all so much.
Thank y'all. Comment,
yes,
subscribe.
Thank you.
All that shit. Okay.
Make us famous. Thank you. Bye.